Oh shit, this beat is hot. Oh, feeling this. It's fire. My name is Patrick, I get Jurassic. When I see Paul, it makes me want to smash it.
I got pull like Cool Hand Luke. I got thrown off.
No, Mike, go anyways, Mike.
Bars.
That was like watching Django fall
Go
over.
anyways, let me do it again. I got this.
No, you're
Nah,
done.
you're done.
You're out, Tom.
That was like
You already
watching
ruined
Django
the kid.
fall
You don't
over,
jump
dude.
after 4 bars after off beat.
Welcome to A&R. You should actually be good on your part instead of dabbling. What makes you throws you off whenever it's your turn?
Because I gotta have the beat like ready and then I do it.
You should be hearing the beat in your head when he's rapping. I mean,
I gotta listen.
This guy's your
ready to
lead
roll.
singer?
Yeah, I mean that could change soon.
I'm the DJ.
All right, guys, my name is Michael Gregorian, and with me, as always, is my 2 Mexicans, Patrick Klopping and Victor Estrada. And always to my left is my trusty horse, Dizzle.
¿Qué onda?
All right. What is it about it? It just always throws you off.
Just give me a sec to catch the beat, dude.
You had 4 bars.
No, I had to listen to him. First of
Yeah,
all, you
you're
don't
listening.
jump.
That was a 4
Don't you go like bum, 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 bum in your head?
The art of war. You always want to be 2 steps ahead, son.
Yeah, but usually go 16 or you.
In fact, you should probably start your verse like, shut up and give me the mic, son, and then do your thing.
Yeah.
Beats they repeat.
Anyway.
All right, anyways, last episode
Paul,
we were
shut
talking about the Black Knight satellite, and we'll just jump right into it. We left off last time, we were talking about Gordon Cooper. Okay, Gordon Cooper is an astronaut that is very reputable, and he's very, very big into the ufology, and he said that he's seen UFOs. Actually, in this actually in this video that we're going to play, he's talking about how when he was recording a video one time, there was an alien that popped in, so we're just going to go ahead and play it. It'll explain it.
6 years later, Cooper again encountered a UFO. This one definitely was not a weather balloon. No. While supervising flight testing in Edwards Air Force Base, his military camera crew actually filmed an unidentified saucer-shaped object landing near the site.
As they were sitting there filming, a little saucer came from, I say little saucer, it was a saucer, came flying over their heads, put down 3 little landing gear and landed right out on the dry lake bed. And they picked up their cameras and started over toward it, filming as they went. And when they got in fairly close to it, it lifted up, put the gear back in the wheel wells, tipped up, and took off at a great...
So I think there's some credibility what this guy's saying. This guy's whole life is aeronautics and, all that stuff. So the reason why I'm bringing him up is because he reported seeing a greenish UFO during his 15th orbit on Mercury 9, okay? And there was over 100 people that saw this also on radar. They're witness to it. So essentially, so far we've come with just radio waves, where he actually sees the satellite.
We have visual confirmation on
visual
this
confirmation, right? So this guy is doing visual confirmation. This next part is basically where we get the 13,000-year-old part of the story, because in 1973 there was a researcher named Duncan Lunan. Okay, so it goes back.
Old donkey.
Yeah, old donkey, dude.
DL.
Old Donkey Lunan.
That old some bitch stole my fucking tires.
Donkey Lunan, that's my uncle.
Come to Lunan's.
He used to wrestle in cowboy crocodile boots and karate pants.
Steve, get back in your cage.
Pardon me, this
All
is
right.
Duncan, and that's my nephew. I taught him how to wrestle in the backyard.
I just like the number one. Number one, narrate this video.
Number 1, make it so. Number
Make
one.
it so, narrate this.
So this guy went back and he reanalyzed all of the information from 1928. Remember I told you that they saw all these LDEs, these long drawn-out echoes? So, like a nerd, he went back and he reanalyzed this thing, right?
Nerd.
And he basically figured out...
Pre-internet, guys.
Yeah, he basically...
Pre-computers.
No, computers were there in
Computers were there,
1973.
but internet wasn't
I
there,
forgot
so
what year
it was
we were in.
hard.
My
It was
bad.
hard for him to do this research.
So he basically figured out that this signal that was being sent out was basically a star chart, and he mapped it and plotted the whole thing, and it was pointing to Epsilon Bootis.
WTF star chart.
This sounds like the
What
movie
is a star
Contact.
chart? What is a star chart?
A star chart is, whenever you go and try to look at stars on a chart.
You ever been to
Okay, so
planetarium,
it's
son?
like,
It's kind of like what the name
Planetarium.
is, star
Okay,
chart.
got you, yeah.
It's a chart of stars.
It's a whole chart
of stars.
full of stars. So like
No.
Brad Pitt.
No, it's a
Angelina.
star, and it's named Charts.
Oh, charts, the star chart.
That's right. Charts art. He's actually a level 5 on Pokemon. Do you know that?
I heard he's like a level 7 Scientologist. So
That's right.
After studying the star chart, we found out that he's a Capricorn and
Dude,
he likes long walks.
What
on the
happens
beach.
if L. Ron Hubbard is actually right?
He's not right.
You don't know that.
Wasn't that one movie that was basically one of his books? something Destination Earth or something Earth.
Yeah, I don't
Planet Ship
yeah,
Earth.
Like, obviously, I don't want to get too into religion here, but like, I think all of it's there's a lot of like made up mystical shit. But this guy like was known for writing.
He wrote the most
fiction,
science fiction novels of any person
and then
ever.
decided to make a religion, and it was like,
Oh God, I don't even care about the science.
What if Martha Stewart told you pizza was God? Would you follow her?
You know what's weird? On YouTube right now, everything I watch has those weird little Scientology videos. They're beating me with the stick. Have you seen those?
You're interrupting my feetons right now. I can't have that. You know,
Listen,
gonna get really pissed.
Which Phaetons?
Which
my
level, bro?
phaetons are getting disturbed right now.
So
can we just move
basically,
on?
this dude was charted that it was basically this signal. What he deciphered was that this signal was telling us that it is from the Epsilon Buddhist star constellation. Okay,
And how?
I have no idea how.
That sounds
He
wrong.
basically he plotted out mathematically everything that this signal was saying, and he plotted out and saw that it was a star map. And based on his calculations and his mathematics, he figured out that it was pointing to this constellation Epsilon Buddhist. And that's how he figured out that the signal is 13,000 years old. Like we were saying in the beginning of last episode, the star that we see out there in the sky, that actually fizzled out, whatever, 100 millions of years ago.
Like that's what I was saying.
Same kind of thing. That he's figuring out that this signal must have originated 13,000 years ago. So that's where we get that this satellite has been
This is like
encircling Earth for
It's like
13,000
some
years.
Saeed on Lost shit.
What if-
He, like,
Ella,
figured
what-
out
what if the message
like,
was-
repeating?
The
13
science on
years
this
and
is
shit.
like a car dealership.
What if that message was like-
and then it's 7, the 7's over 3's, and makes the 6's. That's why you got a new Sentra.
It says the guy who believes in numbers.
I
2s
don't-
and 4s and 4s
I'm
and
not
2s.
saying it's wrong. I'm just saying.
What if
it's hard
that
to
message
follow.
was like, listen, don't throw your shit in the ocean, don't make plastic. Like, what if we missed
I'm
the
sure
page?
it's like
Yeah,
some like
Because
every
old school days, you know, like when you
animal
called and,
sentient.
and Mike wasn't home, like I didn't know where the fuck Mike was after that. I just had to or maybe I'll run into Mike or not.
You playing drums over there? Or
Yeah.
you just smacking on the table? Everyone can fucking hear it. So that's where we get the 13,000 years old, right? This is the most, stop doing that. This is the most important part of this because this is where we actually get to see a picture of this Black Knight satellite for the very first time.
What year was this tape?
So in 1990, are you just going to jump right before I say anything? What year is this going to be? What is it?
Triple checking.
1998. See how I got things written down unlike you?
And so I'm thinking 1998. This is
I know. Mike has
that
a
was very
black
catty.
satellite.
This is still pre-cell phone. How many megapixels was this camera?
So
back
listen
then?
to this.
Was
In
this Polaroid? 'Cause I don't believe
1998,
it.
there was the shuttle Endeavour, right? It was the very first spaceship to go into the International Space Station. So it's a big event. All these astronauts are going to ISS. So
They're
bring
popping
with them.
bottles. They're popping bottles.
They're popping bottles.
You know,
they're
astronauts
fucking
get the
bitches.
best drugs too, because they got to test them in space.
Yeah. Have you ever done a space line?
No, but I saw what happened to Chong when he did.
How
he
hard is it to
shot
do a
up
space
into-
line?
He did space coke. He shot all the way up to the outer space.
That's actually what Coke does. It was actually a documentary, that movie. I don't know if you guys knew that.
all Cheech and Chong movies.
So they took a picture of this thing, and this is the pictures that we're looking at onto the screen. If you actually just go to Dark Knight Satellite on Google, this is all of these pictures are the pictures that these astronauts took off of Endeavour. Okay?
Can you click that third one? That one looks the clearest to me.
Yeah.
That shit looks like Han Solo's gun, son.
So this is where they're getting a 13,000-year-old satellite, because now we have where it's originated, Epsilon Buddhist. What it's trying to kind of tell us is trying to tell us that it's coming from this area, how long it's been there, and of course, what's the guy who directed Dark Knight? I just screwed up my own joke. Anyway,
for Nolan.
Has anyone
So-
noticed there's a floating hand in that picture too?
oh, there's a little Mickey Mouse hand.
So hold on, looking at this picture right here, Mike, as you know more about this than me. So looking at this picture, you're telling me like you don't think like this could possibly just be some weird shaped space rock?
Well,
Like you
here's
find an
the
Indian
thing.
arrowhead,
there?
like
It's-
something like that.
It's orbiting us, and it's staying in a tight rotation around us. If it was a space rock, it would have
There's no
broken
way
up.
it could stay in that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm deducing from everything that they're saying. So, basically, that's basically it. But, I'm probably not going to get a lot of this, and we'll put a lot of the information on our description. There's a lot of things that are debunked about all these things. One of the major things is that because I think that this is the most significant thing so far. All right?
The photo?
Photo.
Yeah, the photo, it's actually showing us what it is. So
Shot from
you can
a
make
space
your own
shuttle.
you can make your own deductions about what this is, but what it does, it just makes my mind think about, dude, what if there are aliens? What if we aren't alone? What if there is something orbiting around us and like kind
And
of
that's big to make
Yeah.
your mind think. It's got to be something that huge.
yeah. I had to think about doing the show and think about bringing you on.
Everything.
I can unthink this
motherfucker. Now you brought me into this world. You can take me out.
What if it just says something like Joe was here? Like, well, we found.
You know what? He's never the whole time that I've known him for your whole 31 years that we've been on this planet.
Your whole life.
I actually don't know what your take is on aliens. You think that there's aliens? You think that there's life out there?
I'm sure there's life out there.
You've never said anything definitive to me like this is what I think. Not saying that you don't have an opinion.
I've never seen anything. I've seen one thing. One time.
That was my dick.
But it was
I put it away really
bigger
quick.
than that. It was these 3 lights.
Extraterrestrials.
I was driving across, but I was close to an Air Force base, and I saw this in early 2000s. But it was 3 lights off to the corner, and they lifted up these 3 lights, and we're just one van as far as you can see in both directions. And the lights turn off, and then in 1 second the lights were on over there. But then later on, a couple years later, I saw the stealth fighters, how they take off.
Yeah.
It looked a lot like
the Harrier jets take off straight up like that.
Straight
the Harrier jet is an Armenian jet?
Yeah.
It's a Harrier jet?
Yeah, it's got a big unibrow on it. It's got hookahs all around.
Hey, Pat, to answer your question, they're saying that this picture right here that we're looking at on the screen is coming from, because they used to do a lot of EVAs. EVAs are when they go outside of the spaceship and they do a spacewalk, or they do some sort of experiment outside of the shuttle. They're saying that on one of these EVAs, there is a quote-unquote space blanket that got loose, which is black on one side.
Like a sarape.
Exactly. That's what they're saying that we're looking at. And it's crumpled up and formed an odd shape. That's what they're saying.
Find
like one of those foil, super crazy protection things.
That looks like some straight up Borg shit, dude. That doesn't look like a blanket.
What do you think? You think aliens real?
Probably. We can't be the only thing out there.
Yeah.
It's a big universe out there, man.
That's a hot take. It's a pretty hot take.
Do you think that they're okay? Do you think not do you think aliens are real, but if you do think they're real, do you think that they're smart, sentient?
That's what
or are they just some slime?
Well, they've got to be smart to get here,
that's
right?
The thing.
Yeah, if they've gotten here.
Yeah, I mean, I think aliens definitely exist. I think we're fucking aliens to somebody else.
Yeah.
You have to be stupid to think that if the universe really does go forever, that we're the only
dolphins are smart, but they're not building spaceships.
And
we haven't been.
No, well, first of all,
maybe they have dolphin spaceships under the.
They don't have the tools, and if you don't have the tools for the job, you can't do the job.
How do we know there's not another planet out there with just a bunch of dolphin-like things?
There might be.
And they're all happy as hell, and they're not trying to contact us.
Yeah, so that's it's a Bigfoot. The one guy we were talking about Bigfoot, my friend, and he was he actually passed away. God rest his soul,
homie.
Tom Suska,
homie.
But he was like, I was like, how do you know there's no Bigfoots? And he goes, I'll tell you why. We haven't found their bones. And I think we were really high at the time.
That's not a.
So I was like, you know what? That's kind of that. Well, that's we found bones of everything else, right? But then I thought for a second, like, what if they're aliens? And they're bouncing before they die, or they're just coming here fucking around and leaving, or maybe when they die they get sucked through some.
How about all those pictures of Nephilim, those bones, those large, gigantic bones of people that were 20 feet high? You see them all over the internet. Like, what if that's the remnants of these? Because I personally think, honestly, I think that we've been around in this earth at least 3 or 4 go-arounds. What I mean is like civilization flourished, got to a certain point. There was some sort of a natural disaster. I think that's coming from the same part in the sky. That's why they always have all of these monuments pointing up to the same kind of constellation. And when that star moves,
like the pyramids,
they're all pointing to one spot in the sky. Yeah. So I think that some gigantic thing happened a couple times, and they're like, "Hey, keep your eye on that fucking part of the sky."
I don't even think you're saying. I'm saying I guarantee that happened because this is the time when these people never even knew people existed. They're doing the same thing on the other side of the world.
Do you think for a second though? Okay, just
Paul, I'm really gonna hate this. I can tell.
Do you think ever for a second that our planet's here and the only way we're alive is this like atmosphere that's surrounding this little rock, right? And there's nothing.
Perfect set of conditions.
You have perfect set of conditions
right.
for not
because the rest of our planets in our orbit
have nothing
lifeless.
else messing with us. I mean, almost mathematically perfect conditions for being left the fuck alone. So do you think that maybe people seeing all these aliens just a really good excuse for the government has a jet and they go, oh, it was a UFO, and they just
no, because the government's the one trying to tell you that it's weather balloons and all this shit. They have Area 51, which is supposed to be some crazy
read a book on
underneath.
Hey, I'll wrap this up. It's funny you're saying that because in all actuality, the thing that they saw that was going on the weird elliptical in 1960, it came out later on that those Discovery missions were actually us sending spy cameras into orbit. And the only way they can develop the film is they had to have the pictures come out of the unit, drop off, and then they would be rendezvoused and picked up by a spaceship. And so that thing is kind of explained as it being just something that we did that they just didn't tell us at the time that that's what it was.
Yeah. That doesn't explain Tesla, son.
Tesla, it's a fucking dope car. It's very expensive.
That's my boy.
It all goes back to Tesla.
Number
Yeah.
one.
You're my boy, Blue.
Hey, if you want to read about Tesla, where would I go if I don't have the time to actually read, or if I can't read?
I
You
could
go
listen
on,
to
you
it,
can go on
but-
Amazon.com, or you could get it from
Audible.com.
Audible.com.
That's right. Amazon.com. You can go to Armenian Nights Radio /Amazon, and once you get there, save it. Bookmark it, because then every time you go to use it forward, we get a little something, something. You get a little something, something. And also, before I forget, please leave us a 5-star rating. Please subscribe, share, and have all your friends. Send him some info. Send us some questions. We got a good question from someone, which I'm not going to read out loud because it was very rude.
Again,
It was a proposition for Patrick.
It was.
I don't want to take
The
that.
answer is Ayo.
After the pony episode.
I took up on that proposition, so I'm not ashamed.
anightsradio@gmail.com. Thank you so much. We're going to give it one more try. So Pat's going to go first. He's going to spit 4 bars, and Paul's going to go, and then hopefully it'll get to me.
Oh God, here we go. I'm so bored. Paul sucks. Paul. I don't know what to rap about. I'm looking at Paul, and all I want to do is punch him in the mouth.
Drool like cool, hand Luca cannibal tasting you. I'm the shit like someone put manure in your Daisy Dukes. I'm Dr. Than Beta. This
You took too many
crossfader
bars, sucker.
interest this bars like a fucking lightsaber.
Mike, drop some. Come on. Fuck him.
Oh,
Ready?
Mike dropped the
Ready?
bar.
1, 2. Here we go. Ready?
My bad breath bombs buildings in 9/11. The Reverend. A suicide bomb and go to heaven. You're supposed to back me up on that part.
Oh, shit.
Suicide bomb and go to
Come on, hype
heaven.
man. You're the unhype man. You're fired.
Flavor, no flavor.
The truth is
Oh,
out there.
that's actually pretty good. That's me rap name. Flavor,
truth.
no flavor.
Flavor
It is out
less.
there somewhere.
Bye, guys. I love you.
But not here.